Hello, good day to everybody. My name is Victor Lee and I am part of a group consisting of 3 members. The other 2 members are Kenneth Yong and Lingus Wari. The purpose for today's presentation is to present regarding Nike Adapt Automax, which is a shoe that has been produced by Nike in, if I'm not mistaken, it was last year to the beginning of this year. So Nike, obviously, is by the huge shoe conglomerate Nike, and this product that we are going to present on is this shoe that can basically tie itself. That's why it's called Adapt Automax. Nike Adapt Automax is a shoe that adjusts electronically and laces itself to the user's foot. That means that you no longer have to spend time tying your own shoelace, but rather the shoe actually ties its laces for you. The Nike Adapt Automax also ensures a reliable and personalized fit based on the user's preferences. Basically, it fits very snugly into your foot size. Now, this idea of a self-tying shoe is actually not a new one. It was actually featured in the Back to the Future movie, which is an American classic movie that shows some sci-fi attributes. Now, Nike basically took this concept and made it into a reality with this shoe, and wanted to prove that they were capable of making a concept shoe that was revolutionary, that was something that was never made before and something that was never done before. And I believe that Nike did successfully do this, and the results speak for themselves. Alright, so I'll be presenting on the first 2 main parts, which is the LED lights and the battery. So first off, for the LED lights, there are basically 2 LED lights on each side of the shoes. These lights are actually used as indicators. It indicates when the shoes are in use, and also it indicates the battery capacity and usage. Because this shoe is actually rechargeable, therefore there is the need to know the battery life and to know exactly how long more it can go on for. The second part is the battery, which actually powers these LED lights. The shoe runs on a 505 milliampere battery, which is placed at the back of the shoe. Now, this battery can last a minimum of 14 days up to a maximum of 20 days on a full charge. This is good because you don't want to be charging your shoe every day, and it is also this is good because you don't want to be charging your shoe every day, correct? So that's it from me regarding the 2 main parts and also the introduction to our presentation. Hope you've enjoyed my part of the presentation as I pass it along to my next group member who will explain the remaining parts of the shoe. Thank you.
So a good day everyone, a good day to lecturer, a good day to all our viewers. Okay, my name is Kenneth Yong Wei. My ID is MH19033 and I'm going to present unit part 3 and unit part 4 of our presentation, which is the Nike Adapt Automax. So unit part 3, which is the shoe itself. Okay, the shoe itself is made up of elastic materials to ensure that it can provide flexibility to the user. Meaning that the shoe is made up of flexible materials like rubber or something that is very flexible, so you can ensure a very very perfect fit to the user. And also the flexibility is when you doing sports or daily run or walk like that. Since you're walking much, of course you're gonna flex your shoes like that, so this has no problem since it's made out of elastic materials. so you won't feel bad when you flex these your shoes, your expensive smart footwear like that. Also, it provides a comfortable and cushioning slip resistant feature to the user. Okay, this one is more to the sole of the shoe there, sole of the shoes. Okay, so when you wear your shoes, of course you're going to feel, you're going to expect that your shoes will be comfortable and you have a cushioning effect when you wear your shoes, right? Of course, who wants to wear a shoes that feels uncomfortable and brings you no comfortability and no cushioning effect, like no one wants that. Okay, so of course your shoe is going to be comfortable and it has a cushioning effect. And the slip resistant features is because when we wear our shoes, of course we would wear a pair of socks. So since our socks and the sole of the shoes doesn't have any friction, though I wouldn't say have any friction, don't have any friction. We have less friction, yes, less friction. So of course you will slip at one point, but not that you will slip like when you step on a banana peel and then you slip and fell. No, it won't slip like that, very obvious. It's like when you stop suddenly during your run. Of course, when you stop suddenly, you will feel a bit of slipping, like that, slip. And then of course, if you have a space, your shoes, if you're like me, like to wear a bigger size shoes, of course it will feel like there's some space in your toe area there, and then when you slip, you will slip in deeper again, and then it feels like your toes is uh, cramping like that. So it's very uncomfortable. So this shoe is has a slip resistant feature, and also it has a very perfectly tight fit compared to normal shoelacing. Okay, point unique part number 4, which is the Bluetooth module. Okay, since this is a smart footwear, of course it will have a Bluetooth module. So this shoes has a Bluetooth module implemented inside. Okay, once it is paired to a smartphone, the user can easily adjust and monitor its battery percentage, create presets, and manually adjust the tightness. Okay, once your smart footwear is connected to a smartphone or a smart device like a Apple Watch or smart band like that, smartwatch. Okay, you can monitor its battery percentage. Of course, it has a battery inside, battery built in inside, since it needs power to power the Bluetooth module, the LED lighting, the sensors, all of that. So of course you can monitor the battery percentage, and so you can create presets, like you can uh, you can select your own, customize your own, like, because this has a LED light inside, so you can customize the LED lights to your liking, like RGB colors, or red, or full red, or full blue, like that, anything you want. Okay, and then it has, and also you can manually adjust the tightness. Since these shoes have a this shoes is built to 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 have a perfectly tight fit, and it's very comfortably tight, not those very tight like that. So you have those plus and minus button on the side of the shoes to adjust the tightness of your your smart footwear. So for example, like when you're trying to, like when you get trying to do a small run like that, you don't want you don't need to bend down and just adjust the tightness. uh, you don't need to bend down just to adjust the tightness. You can just browse through your smartphone or smartwatch like that, go into the app, and then you can just adjust the tightness inside the app. Very easy. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you very much.
Okay, so a very good day to our lecturer. My name is Lingeshwari, daughter of Nagarajan, and my matrix ID will be SA21069. So today I will be bringing the presentation from where it was left. So for my part, I'll be talking about the last two components of the shoe, which are sensors and motor. So for sensors, there are three parts of sensors, which are, the first one would be temperature sensor, the second one would be pressure sensor, and the third one will be capacitive touch sensor. So as for temperature sensor, when there's environmental or climate change, like let's say the weather changes into a hotter one, so when the weather becomes hotter, the temperature sensors will send information or signals to the motor to loosen up the laces of the shoe. This is to ensure the user feels comfortable and to prevent it from being intact. Like, I'm sure that nobody wants to wear a tight shoe during a hotter weather. So moving on to the second part of the sensor, which is pressure sensor. So for pressure sensor, when the pressure sensor detects that the pressure of the shoe is high, it will also send instructions or information to the signals to the motor. It will loosen up a bit, similar to the temperature sensor, but this is a different situation. Temperature sensor works for temperature, while pressure sensor works for pressure. Okay, so these two sensors are placed inside of the shoe. Okay, so moving on to the third one, it is capacitive touch sensor. Capacitive touch sensor is placed on the side of the shoe, and it is quite fun to play with. Okay, so when the user touches the sensor, the touch sensor, it will give certain orders or instructions to the shoe to maybe change the presets, or to maybe manually loosen up the shoelace, or to maybe tighten up the shoelace as well. So that's all for sensors. Now we will be talking about motor. Motor is embedded inside of the shoe, as it functions as the important role, or we can say it has the responsible to tighten the laces of the shoe. So once the user places his or her foot inside of the shoe, it will change itself, adjust itself according to the shape of the foot and the size of the foot of the user. So with that being said, the motor plays a very important role in the shoe's component to tighten the shoe and to tighten up the laces, and also to change the comfortness of the shoe according to the sensors giving the signals. So in conclusion, both of these components are really important to the shoes, because as I said, the first one would be sensors, which will be used to send instructions to the motors in order to implement it, while the motors implement the instruction given by the sensor or given by the app by the user. So that's all from my part. In conclusion, there are pros and cons in this Nike Adapt Automax. So I'll be talking about the pros first. The pros of the Nike Adapt Automax will be, it is light, the shoe is light and it's comfortable, as well it's time efficient and time saving, like the users don't have to tie and to spend more time on tying up their laces. You know, sometimes the shoe laces gets loosened and then we have to stand somewhere and tie, but this doesn't work that way to this Nike Adapt Automax. Also, it is convenient to the user and it looks more futuristic and stylish. So yes, and talking about the downside of the Nike Adapt Automax, the motor is quite loud. so when the motor is in use, you can definitely hear the motor sound, which is slightly loud. Also, talking about the price, it is more expensive than the price of an ordinary shoe. So who can afford this? Who should get this? Now we'll be talking about that. Let's say this is recommended for those who are having knee problems, who can't sit down and tie their shoes or bend down to tie their shoelaces, and also for those who don't have time to tie their shoelaces, they are rushing to work, so they can't like afford to tie their lace, sit down and tie their lace. Or even for those who don't find money as an issue, like they can afford it, then they should definitely try this out. So that's all from us. Thank you very much.